Alright, so I recently read the Self-Publisher's Legal Handbook by Helen Sedwick, or Sedgwick. It's spelled Sedwick on the copy of the book I have, but Google says there's supposed to be a G in there. Anyway, this is the third book in my reading challenge that I've read this year. So who is Helen Sedwick? She is an author and a business attorney. The genre of her book is intellectual property law, and she helps writers navigate the legal aspects of writing and independent publishing. So, summary of some of the things that her book goes over is understanding copyright and all that goes into it, and there's a lot more into copyright than I realized before reading this book. How to use work that isn't yours, when it's okay, when it's not, what the rules are about that, using real people or characters based on real people, and whether you should change names or like the hassle that goes into that, and like some legal things that you should consider if you're planning to use real people, the legal aspects of using pen names, different ways to self-publish and what to look out for, such as vanity presses. There's also, which is something to look out for because they're not great, self-publishing services, publishing yourself, traditional publishers, how to find the right people to help you, freelancing editors, book designers, and all that, whether you do it yourself or get help. How to set up your own business, which has a lot to go into it, but it's recommended, especially if you're going to be trying to make a profit. Ways to finance your product in case you just don't have the funds to do it all yourself. How to write creative disclaimers, because apparently they don't have to be boring and can be quite funny, actually. Taxes, how to manage your taxes, make sure that you're paying all the things that you're supposed to so you don't get in trouble with the IRS. Marketing and distribution, because in self-publishing, you are your own marketer and distributor, and you got to figure that stuff out. How to avoid scams, which is also very important because where there's money to be made, there are sharks. Estate planning, and I know that this is not really something anybody really wants to focus on, but it's super important, especially if you have children. And for anyone running a business, even if it is just writing, you need to know where your writing's going after you pass. Because intellectual property is still property. How to have a successful collaboration so it doesn't fall apart and you don't like ruin your friendships. And business beyond the book, things like audiobooks and other deals that you can make after your book has been published. All in all, I think this is a very good book, important for any author to read, providing that they want to self-publish. Even if you want a traditional publish, I'd still recommend reading it. I found it really helpful and gave me some concrete steps on how to move forward in my pursuits of trying to write books. I have 2 books currently published, and I feel like after reading this, that if I'd had this information earlier, I could have done better. But I have that information for the next book that I'm currently writing. So, highly recommend, and I'll leave a link to the book on Amazon in the description down below. That'll be it for today. Go out and spread the love, because love always wins.